to Journey Teachers. So we have a very special guest with us today, Pujita, and we are going to talk about BBA in University and all about it. Warm welcome to you, Pujita, on Journey Teachers. Would you like to begin with a short introduction about you?
Sure. Hi, as she said, I'm Pujita and I'm studying BBA in Christ University. And I'm a dancer and a classical musician. And I love enjoying culture and music and literature. And I have worked as a HR head in a startup recently. And I'm very much into spiritual aspects of it.
Perfect, Jay. Thank you so much. I'm glad to have you here, and I'm sure that the people watching will get a lot of insights into the discussion. So, first of all, let's begin with why did you choose to do BBA in University? What makes you come here and choose this course for yourself?
Right. So, as we know, when we have started considering BBA and we look into the rankings of colleges for BBA, Christ is one among the best. And I'm a localite, that means I'm from Bengaluru. And so BBA at Christ seemed like a very feasible option. And the reason why I chose BBA was the reason many people do, because I was interested in business and also it was a method of elimination. I didn't want to study hardcore accounts with BCom or something like that, but I knew I was interested in this field and BBA seemed like a very safe option for me.
Okay, so how was your experience going through the entire interview process and what type of questions were you asked?
Okay, so as we know, there is this written examination and then an interview to get into Christ for BBA. So there's no elimination after the written examination. In the interview, there was just one faculty interviewing me, but some of my friends have been interviewed by more than one faculty member as well. And the questions they asked were pretty simple. They were about my 12th grade and what portions they covered there, and also about my personal life. They'll definitely start with the question, tell me about yourself. And that decides their remaining questions. Then they're going to ask you about different aspects that you yourself mentioned. So don't bluff, because when they start asking you questions, you will have to give them proper, genuine answers and they will know when you're bluffing.
Okay, perfect. That actually makes sense because, whatever you know and whatever comes to your mind at that moment of time, you just have to tell that to them. Because if you are lying and if you are figuring it out, they will eventually get it because a lot of counter questions are based upon what you answered. Okay, so what about your application process? Like, till what extent do you think the things you mentioned in your application came in the interview and were asked to you?
So the application process was pretty easy. You had to just log into the website and apply there. It was very straightforward and all they ask you there is which campus you want to choose or which course you want to take, if there's any second preference for your campus choice and everything like that. They do not ask much about your personal life. They ask the basic details, mostly the details that are there on your Aadhaar card will suffice for that. And they ask for your 10th grade marks and your 11th or 12th grade. So you can give either of it. And my 11th grade marks were better than my 12th grade midterm or my model marks. So I just put my 11th grade marks there to be on the safer side. And that was about my application process. It was very straightforward.
Okay, perfect. So you are in your first year at this university. So how far are you liking the course? Have you, gained much exposure into what the curriculum is all about? And how strict is particularly your department?
Okay, good question. So each one will have different opinions and different answers for this. But in particular, I feel I'm very satisfied with what I've chosen because it's more or less what I expected it to be. But one thing that I did not consider was maybe the travel time back home, which takes a lot in Bengaluru. But other than for the fact that we might spend a lot of our waking hours in college, it's a very great place to be. And the curriculum, as you asked, is something that will definitely benefit each one who's taken this course, because as we know, Christ focuses a lot on holistic development, and we might think that this word is overused here, but certainly it's worth it. And I feel the kind of CIAs or the assessments they're giving or the exposure that each student gets is very different and is very necessary, especially if you want to step into corporate life a few years later.
Okay. So, honestly, how difficult was it to get into this course in CHICE? Because as I'm aware of that as well, like BBA is the most famous and the most difficult course to crack into CHICE University particularly. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Yes. So, our teachers keep telling us, we got 18,000 applications and we chose you all. So, I think that statement in itself has a lot of weightage. But the thing here is, don't get stressed about whether you're going to get into Christ. And it might be difficult because I know so many of my friends who did not make it into Christ, but that I think is mainly because they did not know how to speak or portray themselves to the interviewers, because that is what matters the most. And your written examination before that is very basic. It's nothing to fret about. It's just basic maths. And for people who have taken maths in 12th grade, it will just be a paper, but just remember to revise your 10th grade portions of mathematics, because sometimes when we are just so into doing differentiation, we forget how to do percentage or tricky questions based on that. So don't fret out about anything, just go prepared and be yourself in the interview. And just revise your portions of 12th grade, because that's the time when they took the interview for me. My model exams were going on or something like that in college in my 12th grade. So the portions that I had just studied was fresh in my mind. And I think that's going to be the case with most of us, because our interview times in Christ starts interviewing much before any other college does. So especially if you choose to participate in the first round of selections, which is highly recommended, by the way, because it's just common sense. All the seats are empty and they're looking for people to fill. So in the first round, most people get in. So if you apply there, it's going to be very easy and much better for you. And just give it your all and don't fret about it.
Perfect. So that is very true that applying in round 1 definitely have high chances of you getting selected into this university. Okay, so the next question I would like to ask you about the uniform you have, or what are the dress code related things that matters to you, and subsequently if you can tell more about the extracurricular activities, or do you get time to participate in extra things except from your academic life as well?
Right, okay. So the dress code of Christ is what I'm wearing right now, at least for my department. That's for girls, it's a kurti and loose pants, no leggings or anything, and a dupatta is compulsory, and just wear your ID like a Mangal Sutra. Just don't remove it any time. And then for the guys, I think it's even more rigorous with the dress code. It's western formals, but with formal shoes and with the tie compulsorily, and no folding of sleeves and everything like that. The girls also have an option to wear western formals as well. And about the strictness of my department, at least the BBA department is pretty strict in Christ, especially with the dress code. You do not usually get attendance if you're not adhering to your dress code. And the extracurricular activities here are in abundance. Any day you just feel like, okay, I'm in the mood of maybe performing a dance item in a week or so. You just look into your mails that the university sends you, or just look around campus, there will definitely be an opportunity. And the main events like Darpan or Bhasha Utsav, I've taken part in all of them, because as I mentioned, I'm a dancer, and it was so exciting for me to meet so many new people, collaborate with them, dance on stage. And it's just been 4 months since college started, and I think I've gone in the auditorium, the main stage, at least 5 times already, for different reasons, for acting and for dance and everything. So as long as you're willing to get out of your comfort zone and experiment and get excited about such things, this is the best place to be.
Definitely, totally agree with you because Christ gives you an opportunity to explore yourself to the fullest, and this is the advantages of being a Christ that you get to explore and get exposed to many more extracurricular activities, including every art around. And talking about the strictness of a department as well, it varies according to various departments. For example, like I mentioned in my previous videos, that the media department doesn't have a compulsory dupatta, but the BBA has it. So it depends upon the department you are going ahead with. Okay, so coming to the last question. So what do you think are the tips that you would like to give to the aspiring students out there who want to join TRICE, particularly the BBA department, and what is your take on this?
Okay, so this I think is the most awaited question, because I remember before I joined Christ University, I was all over YouTube and searching for videos that would help me get into this university, especially the central campus. It's a big deal too, as we all know. If you're watching this video, you definitely will. So, advice is nothing much, but prepare your 10th grade math portions and be fluent in speaking with English. At least try. If you're not so comfortable with speaking in English right now, just read lots of novels and books and newspapers. And don't worry, in the interview they will not ask you too many current affair questions, because I was worried about that. I do read different novels and storybooks, etc., but I'm not the best in general knowledge. And that's not the main thing they're going to question you about. So in your written assessment, it's going to be math and English, which is very basic. Just know that you have to apply what you have learned here. They will not ask you direct questions at all. There's not even going to be one direct question. Just learn the concept for the sake of the concept, not for just attempting the question that you have already seen before, because that's not going to happen. And the interview is, again, as I said, just be yourself. And if you have time right now, if there's quite some time before you can start applying, maybe start something with your friends, maybe a small thing in school, just take up some initiative, like making small things like earrings and selling them, because they love to see someone with an entrepreneurial mindset, especially if they want to accept you into BBA. And I was the head girl and the president in my previous school, so I think that added on a lot. So if you have some things like this on your resume, do not forget to mention it, because that is what is going to get you here.
Definitely, a lot of people actually approach me asking all of these queries, which I think you have answered almost all of them. So that's definitely, true. So just out of curiosity, I would like to ask you this as well. Are there any factors that you would, recommend people that you, so that they don't want to join TRICE? Something, out of that.
Okay, so coming to the negative aspects, which will definitely be there in every college, one main thing can be the dress code. I just remember today I told her I'd rather have a school uniform than having such a strict dress code. But I think it is worth it, because what they are saying also makes sense, especially for the BBA students if you're going to get into business in the corporate field. A very professional maintenance of yourself is required. And other things are the strictness of the attendance. This is for any Christ student, not just BBA students, but the attendance of 85% will sometimes get to your nerves. But they do have a point even in that. I know I'm playing both sides here, but that is how it is in Christ. There's no perfectly negative aspect either, but sometimes it might get a little stressful if you're taking up a lot of extracurriculars. If you're doing just your academics, there is no way that you're going to get stressed. But sometimes when you think you can manage stuff and multitask, I suggest you do it. But sometimes that might take a little toll on your health for just the couple of days that it's going to happen. So I remember we had a business fest which was 10 days long, and we had all-nighters, and we had literally no time to rest. So after college hours, they don't do anything during college hours, they make you stay up. So after college hours from 4 to 6 was this business fest and everything, and we used to go home and have different tasks that they used to give us at say around 9 o'clock. And our submission was 6 a.m. in the morning. So sometimes we had to stay awake all night. And the main reason why I felt this stressful was because I was participating in Darpan as well. That's a dance fest. That's the biggest dance fest in Christ University. It's an intra-college dance fest. And because I was doing both, I had to finish my practice of dance and then rush and go and present something in my business test and come back home and have no sleep and do this. But that was just for the few days that it happened. But after that, I was happy I did both. So if you're able to manage things, it's going to be alright. But be aware or look out for you getting stressed because that might happen. But it's okay because finally it might be worth it.
Definitely, I think I can completely resonate with the examples you gave because Christ Life is not for everybody, but it definitely prepares you for your lifetime and for your future, inculcating the skills of discipline and punctuality for sure in you. So thank you so much, Pujana, for coming here, and it was wonderful to talk to you. I'm sure that a lot of people watching must have got a lot of insights into the university life, specifically in your department, and overall tips around how to come into this university. So thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you. This was really fulfilling or wholesome. This is really wholesome that you interviewed me today. I was not prepared for it, but I'm really happy that I'm going to be part of your channel. Thank you, Kriti. This was a great interview.
Thank you.